welcome back to the holy I already messed up like 5 seconds. Welcome, the PostCombatMTG, episode 2. Episode 2. Today we're going to talk about mistakes we made as new players that we want to pass on to any new players. That way you don't make the same mistakes that we did, because we made a lot of mistakes. And not talking like necessarily in-game mistakes of like, you know, like not necessarily stuff that happens in-game, like, oh, you should, you know, use this card to do this. Like, no, just like general, like, mistakes that new players make that are very...
Yeah, like gameplay mistakes.
Yeah, gameplay mistakes and...
For any deck.
And yeah, so it's not going to be anything specific.
Just a quick disclaimer, these are mistakes we made.
Yeah.
So, like, we're not experts. We're not telling you what to do. Obviously, there's an exception for, like, every deck you play is going to be different, like, lands you play and, like, types of spells, but...
Yeah, by no means are we...
These are just suggestions.
Yeah, we're not claiming to be pros or...
I'm ready for the comments.
Because trust me, like, I do some of these, like, still all the time. I'll be like, I just make awful mistakes.
No, even, like, one of my points, the lands one, like, I still do that now. Like, my Norn deck only has, like, 32 lands. I mean, that's an issue, but...
It works.
Yeah, it works, I guess.
Or
should we just go into it?
Yeah, do you want to start off with your first one?
Okay, so I have two, because they kind of, like, they're similar. So my first mistake was keeping bad hands, and that's usually in play groups that don't allow you to mull, because our group, like, we basically say mulligan until you have a hand you like.
Right.
Like, there's really no, like, limit.
We don't play enough combo decks that, so someone cheats it.
Yeah, we can't really stack our hand to have all of our pieces together, because none of us play competitive, really. So, I was always afraid, like, starting out to, like, go down to 6 instead of, like, keeping a bad hand out. It's see like 2 lands and nothing else, and like not a turn 1 play, and I'm like, oh, like I don't want to go down to 6. I'll just like hope I top deck a land, and then I don't for 5 turns, and then you're behind the whole game. The
most criminal offense to this of all time, I think you're in this game, was we were playing, and Johnny was playing his Aloro deck and kept a 1-land hand because he had Sarah Ascendant in his opening hand, and like he literally didn't play a land till like turn 7.
Yeah. And like he had Sarah Ascendant, but we like
killed it.
Pat the exile at turn 2, and then he did nothing for 6 turns.
And that was his like ultimate, like he's like never again.
No, yeah.
He's like forget it, like forget Sarah Ascendant.
Yeah, I think
like,
everyone does it, but like it doesn't happen as much if you have a playgroup that doesn't care about mulligans. That's why I don't do it as much, because we're able to like get hands that have more lands.
Yeah, no one ever. And even then, like in our like even Caitlyn does like 10 and 7, so she'll draw 10 cards and like keep 7 of them. Like whatever works, as long as just make sure your whole play group like agrees that what's okay.
Yeah,
and,
as long as you're all on the same page.
Yeah, like don't but like when I played with strangers, they're like, oh, we can do like actual mauls, and I'm like, oh man, what am I gonna do?
I'm gonna lose. So my second point kind of relates to this with lands. It's by not having enough lands in your deck, and I'm super guilty of this. I kind of still do this, but not in all my decks. But I find that a lot of people will go down to like 32 lands, even like 29, 28, just to have more spells. Yeah. Which, like, I get it, but you're not going to be able to play those spells, like, at all if you don't have the lands.
And at the same time, I've also seen, like,
way too many
lands. I'll tell you, like, I didn't tell anyone this yet except for Caitlyn, but I'm building Mono Black Infect.
Oh, okay.
And I was looking up, like, stuff online about it, and this one deck list that I was looking at had like 48 lands in it or something. And I was like, I play a lands deck, and I only run like 42, I think. Yeah. So like, I was like, I get it's mono black, you don't have like a ramp or anything like that, but I was like, I want to message this dude and be like, man, does this work for you?
Are you sure?
Like, I'm hoping it was like a prototype, and
Is this a typo?
Yeah, so I was like, oh, okay, but yeah, like like mana curve is so important.
Yeah.
Like make sure you play the right lands.
Yeah.
The right amount of lands, because...
So, like, the good general amount for most decks is, like, would you say, like, 36, 35?
Right around there, yeah, depending on the color. And
like, if you're playing a mono green or, like, a more landfall-y deck, like a Windgrace, probably closer to 40, maybe 41, 42.
That's what I run in mine, yeah.
I probably wouldn't go over 42, really.
No, because I don't know exactly, I don't remember the exact number I have in my Windgrace one. I just put it up on tap like yesterday, I should remember. Okay. But, like, I found, like, the perfect number. I would never add more or take any out. It's so, like, I hit lands when I need them, and because Windgrace's whole thing is, like, discarding your lands to draw more cards, and, like, rarely ever do I discard a land to draw 2 more lands. Like, it's so well done that
my Tatiova, I think, has 41, and I've never run out of lands. Like, I've never really not had lands to go
exactly,
through, so... Yeah.
So on to the next one. Yours, yeah. So the next one is proper threat assessment. A big thing with new players is, and even like sometimes anyone, like I guess like a 2020 without evasion. So if you're facing a 2020 that doesn't have flying, doesn't have trample, doesn't have anything to get a like menace or anything, like don't stress it too bad. Like you can chump block. Like a 0/1 plant still blocks a 2020 without any
with no trample.
without a trample or anything. And I just noticed a lot of people using kill spells on creatures that like I just don't ever justify. Like when I play my Omnath, like my mono green Omnath deck, I see like people would just be like, oh, it's a 2020 or 15/15. Like I'm just gonna kill it now.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any evasion.
Yeah.
Don't. Unless you have an open board, and I'm gonna kill you with commander damage right now. Don't stress it. Like don't. And again, there's different situations, different strokes for different folks. I guess like there's times where you are gonna like want to like, oh, I'm the only one with an open board. I know it's gonna kill me. That also comes on with main phasing kill spells, like instant speed kill spells. We're in a format where, again, there's multiple people. Like, don't let someone else waste their cards on threats.
Exactly, yeah. And don't be afraid to bring it up as a discussion in the game.
Oh yeah,
politics are important.
Absolutely, we'll bring that up later. We're talking about politics, but there's, if there's an Ulamog, you're gonna want to kill that before it swings. But again, just don't. You only have so many kill spells in your deck. That's very No,
I relate with that one because a lot of the times when I play on X-Mage, I'll purposely have 2 creatures in my hand.
Yeah.
And play one that seems kind of bad, but keep the worst one because I know someone's gonna Path to Exile that.
Yeah.
And then they won't have that kill spell anymore. Right. And then I drop the other one next turn, and they're like, oh shit.
Yeah, because I've seen games. I mean, I still even play games where we people will play big stuff late enough in the game and everyone wasted all their kill spells prior, and then we're just oh, we just lose, that's it, we just lost. There's nothing we can do about it because we just
because then you spend the next 5 turns top decking trying to get Psychotic Rift
right, hope and that's not fun.
My 1 in 99 chance of finding the one card I need.
Let people go off. Don't let them combo off and win, but let them. If they want to make a giant creature that doesn't have evasion, let them, who cares? Yeah. Block. If you have a blocker, just block it. Don't.
When we copy our Norns all the time. Or not Norns, our
Elvish Norns? All the time.
Just let them be. They aren't hurting anyone.
Except for the other 2 players who have -4/-4 on this side of the board. But that's whatever.
But the other 2 cancel each other out.
Right. Fine. The next one that I was the biggest offender of this one, probably of all, of anyone I know, is play decks you love, not what's good.
Mm-hmm. This is important.
It is, and you taught me to, do that. If we're being completely honest, so me and Kev, we've known each other for, literally, his entire life.
Yeah.
But we weren't, friends or, really, close when we started working together. And he was like, oh, I used to play Magic. And I was like, oh, I play Magic.
Let's
play Magic. And at the time I was playing Modern.
You were a big Modern guy.
Yeah,
I think that's why you did this a lot.
Yeah, I was, big into Modern. And, I used to be into Standard. And so for me, I would go on MTG Goldfish or whatever and look at the top decks. Who are the top commanders? Who are the best? What can I build that's the most spiky stuff? And then Kev shows up with his weird
Tresser Jank.
Trusser Horn that costs $20 or Nornin, and even Norn's good, but just weird stuff that I didn't wasn't even in the top 50 or top 100. Chaos was one, and then me, I was still building these rune decks that were just shy of competitive, and I played it wasn't Doomsday Zur, but I played a Zur control deck, and they're very spiky decks.
Yeah.
And then I just would play them, and I was always this sucks. This is not fun. I don't enjoy
especially when you don't go off.
Right, and but the thing is even if I won, I didn't feel good winning. I'm this isn't a good win for me.
Yeah.
And then that took me into everyone needs I had to find my niche. I had to find that thing that I like.
Yeah.
And I think everyone needs to do that instead of going on EDH Rec and being oh, Atraxa, Oloro, Prosh.
Yeah, the top 5 decks of the month. Or
yeah, and people just take that as scripture that this is what's good and this is the only decks that are good. And I'll tell you what, I don't play any of those. at all. Like now, like I had to find my thing when my thing was graveyard. I play all my decks are graveyard for the most part. I play Duretti, which is my deck. Like that is.
It's like your number one.
I found out how much I put into it yesterday, and I was not. Yeah, I put on tapped out, and I was like, Kate was like, how much? And I was like,
let's not talk about it.
and then like Lord Windgrace and Marin. Everything's about putting stuff in the graveyard. That's my thing. I love that thing. So now for me to go buy, and like I play Omnath and like Philogriff and stuff like that, but like for me to go look at like, you know, a Traxa Super Friends or, you know, a Laurel Pillow Fort, I'm like, that's just not me.
Yeah.
Like, so when you are starting or, you know, you're having that issue that I had, just play everything. Play your friends' decks, play, you know, I will shout out X-Mage right now. If you can get on X-Mage, it is so good to like just go on there. Like I was looking at building I forget what deck it was. Oh, it was some weird token deck. Some like Jund token deck. And like I was so excited to play it, and then I went on X-Mage and I played it for like 8 games, and I'm like, this isn't fun, and I was really glad I didn't buy it because so just test, proxy, do whatever you have to do.
It's free.
Yeah, X-Mage is completely free. Just don't just pick something because it's good. Like
And I think it's important, especially in Commander, because most of our games last more than 1 to 2 hours. So like if you're spending that amount of time on a game that you're not enjoying, like there's an issue.
Oh yeah,
it makes you not want to play the game. It makes you not like it.
Yeah, 100%. And then, but yeah, like, and then this is gonna transition really nicely into the next thing that Kev's been talking about, which is play what you like but have a strategy.
Yeah.
Like,
so, like what Jordan says obviously is true. Is like play decks you want to play for the fun of the game, not just because they're good. But you should also like build a deck that's somewhat like it works, it has synergy, it's gonna play. You don't want to just put a bunch of spells in a deck and like expect you to have a good time.
No.
Because like there's important things like mana curve, like the amount of spells, the type of deck you're playing, and like if you're playing just a bunch of like big dinos because you like dinosaurs, which I get, like. Dinosaurs are fun to play.
Oh no, I love
like,
Gishap's great.
If you have 20 creatures that are all 10/10s and cost 9 to cast, like you're never gonna cast those.
Right.
Like you're gonna be dead before turn 8.
That's why like you like Dinos as an example, like Gishath.
Yeah.
The first time when Johnny got his Gishath deck, he didn't really like know how to play Gishath, which is like fine. Everyone doesn't know how to play their deck right away. But he took a land with like 3 lands and like a ton of dinosaurs, and I was like, no, you want to have no dinosaurs.
Yeah.
You want to like ramp to Gishath early as you can, and then get your dinosaurs for free. And he was like, oh, like...
Yeah, there's like an order to it.
Yeah, and he was like, oh, should I take out some ramp to put more dinosaurs in? I'm like, no. Like, you know... Because then you're going off of what you want to...
Yeah, there's an exception to this, like Joda. Obviously, I had a Joda deck, which is like the whole point of the deck is you pay 5 or 1 of Wooburg to like
just do
cast anything.
Anything, yeah, it's not a good feeling.
But I find like a lot of newer players, like obviously everyone loves Eldrazi, but they'll like make like a random deck, like a landfall deck, and then just throw in 20 Eldrazi because they're fun to play.
Yeah.
But like your deck doesn't have synergy, you're not going to do well. You'll cast probably one of them, and then it'll get targeted.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
And I think with that, with like, when it comes to like finding like, you know, finding your strategy and like play your deck a ton. Like play it until you can't stand it anymore, because like I learned, okay, I played like again, like if you're gonna keep up on this show in any way, shape, or form, I'm gonna talk about Duretti a lot.
Yeah.
Like Duretti's like all I think about.
It's his number 1.
It's my number 1. I discovered a thing in Duretti the other day, and I'm sure it's like super obvious, but like I realized it the other day in a game against Riley and Alex that like blew my mind and made me rethink my strategy a little bit. Was obviously Treasure Nabber just came out, which is like the best card, right?
Really
so card. I played Treasure Nabber because Riley had out like 2 signets and a Gilded Lotus. And then I had liquid metal coating, which has turned a permanent into an artifact. Oh, and then it clicked in me. I was like, if I change their land into a artifact and during the upkeep, I can get it.
Yeah.
And then like, you know.
And for anyone who doesn't know, Treasure Nabber reads whenever an opponent taps an artifact for mana, gain control of that until the end of turn.
So like I got to the point where I was like taking like I would like Riley had like a plains, and I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna turn that into an artifact. I'd cake it, and then on my turn, I'd have it, so I'd turn it into an artifact again, and then sack it to Duretti to get... Oh, so then I was like, do like mean stuff. No, and I was like, and it made me rethink like how I play that deck now. So it like, gave me a new strategy. So like...
That's fun.
Oh my god, I love doing it.
Especially even with like a Gilded Lotus, like that feels so good. Like free mana.
Free mana, and if I want to sack it to get back like a Rumcoil engine. But I, you know... Yeah, like have your strategy and really,
so
just do it.
My next point, I did this a lot actually, and I learned this from Jimmy and Josh Lee Quiet of Game Nights, which we both are in Command Zone, which we both listen to like religiously.
Oh, like the day, like I wait at work to
we text each other as soon as it comes out.
Yeah, I love it.
Did you watch it? What do you think? So shout out to them. But I learned a lot of people, especially new players, they're scared to swing, which I get because Commander, it's a 4-person game. You feel like you can kind of sit back and watch everyone else do things and just hope you glide till the end. But I find those games take a lot longer, and usually someone like pulls ahead pretty quickly anyway. Usually in a turn, you can tell someone's about to win. Yeah. But I always find that like if you have like a 2/2 and no one else has blockers, you should swing with that 2/2, even if it's only turn 3. And if they're gonna get mad about it, like that's fine.
Chip damage is still damage.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just I find a lot of times people don't swing, or like decks that aren't creature heavy decks, they'll sit there for 20 turns and everyone's still at 40, and then you kind of just waste 2 hours of your day,
Yeah, no, and I agree with that 100%. Yeah, the thing with, like I said, with chip damage and stuff is like, if you have a turn 1 that is like, let's say you have like a Goblin Welder turn 1, or like a Llanowar Elves, maybe not Llanowar Elves as much, but like a Faithful Strix on turn 2. Yeah. Like, if no one else has stuff out, just swing that in. Like, don't worry about like
making someone mad.
Yeah, or like if they're gonna use a kill spell on it. If they waste a kill spell on a Baleful Strix, or like on a turn 1 like a Mana Dork or like a Goblin Welder, let them do that. Like they just wasted a kill spell on a 1/1.
Yeah, you're basically getting card advantage off of that.
Right, exactly. So like don't be afraid to swing, but
be smart about it.
Yeah, don't just go like.
We're not saying just swing out every turn, but
because unless you're playing the right deck, but like don't.
I just think it's important that if you have like a 2/2 out, don't just sit it there. Like, what's the point of playing it if it literally just sits on your board and does nothing? Yeah. Like, you wasted the mana for a blocker. Right. Like, what?
And don't get me wrong, there's other situations where you like play a creature and you're like, well,
no, yeah,
that's that. Sure, like, I'm never swinging this or doing anything with
desperation
it.
But
if it is turn 15, maybe you shouldn't play a Llanowar Elves. Like, don't. If you need the ramp, I guess. If you're on turn 15, you should probably have it.
Yeah. That should be in your graveyard.
So. Avoiding, like you said, like avoiding conflict is, what we just talked about, and that kind of a little bit segues into.
Our last one.
Like I guess, like I actually thought of one more because on our notes, like one more, and I was like, oh, good, I have one. But like, but don't be afraid to use politics to your advantage. Mm-hmm. And that's another thing that comes along with, like you said, like making people like mad at you, like by like being confrontational with them. That's fine. Like don't
be scared to talk.
If your play group's good enough, like they're not gonna like hate you, like. Yeah. But there's just games where like I'll look at, like prime examples like Caitlin's Kydel deck. Like her whole goal is to drop like the Eldrazi Titans. When that first one comes down, the first thing I do is go, all right, guys, what do we do? Yeah. Or like her Xenagos deck, or like any of her like aggressive decks. Like I just will, you need to like. It's not like competitive 1-on-1 Magic where you can't barter with someone. Like don't swing your Wormcoil Engine at me. Yeah. Like, no, like, but in the game where I can look at you and say, hey, if you don't swing at me for 2 turns, I can deal with a threat that's going to kill you. Yeah. And that might make the person mad who's going to be the one to kill you, but then it's still 2-on-1 at that point.
Oh, yeah. But you can even use politics to your advantage to, like, explain your decision. Yeah. And talk it out. Because, like, I think this stems from, like, Commander's a 4-person format, or even bigger than that. It's just a multi-person format, and a lot of people who, like, play Modern and Standard, they play to win. Yeah. And, like, Commander, like, it's I don't know if this is the word, it's not subjective, really. Like Commander is, I don't know. You kind of have to, like, talk with other people to, like, get your way.
Yeah, no, I mean, I play Fildegriff, which is literally just, it's group hug with weird win conditions, but, like, I use that to, like, I guess I have to politic the table, I guess, to, like, I'll give you all this mana, but if you abuse it, I'm gonna, like, I have counter spells, I have stuff in there to, like, stop it. So, like,
and even if you don't have that stuff in your hand, just saying that you're gonna counter it will make someone double think their decision.
The few times I've played Fildegriff, I've literally looked at someone and been like, I'm giving you 10 mana.
Don't fuck it
up. Don't mess this up, because you are going to, like, I'll make it not worth your while. Yeah. And that is...
It's very important.
Yeah, and then So last one that I just kind of thought up on the spot because I had needed one more. And again, I'm going to use my ultimate inspiration for this. Okay. Play jank. Play weird stuff. Just do it. They don't
That's what this format's for.
Right. Like yes, Toxic Deluge and all these these commander staples that are like crazy good. Like if we're talking like the top cards and don't get me wrong, like Eternal Witness and all that kind of stuff like that are like played in like every deck. But like,
do you even see Jumbo Commander said it's overrated? That was in his list.
I don't agree with this.
Oh, we're coming for you. Sorry.
I respect the opinion, but when he said Reliquary Tower was bad, like overtly bad.
Oh yeah, that hurt me. He was like, I know people who played in every deck. That's me. I have it in every deck.
Caitlin bought 5, and like she literally was sitting in the car at work, like screaming. She's like, "That's the best card!" Like
that's what I did.
I know, but again, like yes, you're gonna play the Eternal Witnesses, the Reliquary Towers, but like don't be afraid to play like weird stuff. Like you don't have to build $1,000 like tier 1 competitive deck, and just because it's on EDH Rec in every deck does not mean it's good for you. Yeah. Play funky stuff. Like don't be afraid to, because I would tell you right now, if you play weird decks, you will win a good amount because there's no sideboards in Commander. Mm-hmm. So you have to like adjust your deck to your meta, which I mean, there's 1,000 episodes of other podcasts and talk about that. But like when you brought out like your choices deck, like I don't know how to stop that. Like what do I do? Like unless I just play straight counter magic, but like you just force me to make awful choices and like
for context, it's a deck that's literally like the whole 99 are cards that make other people make choices on their board state. Yeah. There's really no win con, but I mean kinda.
There is, but like it's one of those things where like even if there's not a straightforward win condition, like I still can't deal with it.
Yeah.
So
it's
like,
a weird deck.
It is. Yeah. It's like so if someone busts out a Traxa deck and they just let's say I never met this person before, they flopped on a Traxa. My first thought is okay, they're playing Super Friends. Like I know they're gonna play Super Friends.
Second thought is Infect.
Infect, and then third thought is you're playing it with like 1/1 counters, but
or like 4-color good shit.
Right. But if you flop down, like, I don't even know what you use. What do you use for your choice commander?
It was Corona False God.
Yeah.
The 5-color.
I like looked at that and I'm like,
yeah. And you're like, what does this
what
mean?
What does it do?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to like, what, like, and then like that like makes me like have to like take a weird hand because I'm not sure like is this good against this deck? Is this not?
Pass it around.
Yeah, like so it's very strange. It's a very like, don't be afraid to play weird stuff just because the internet or experienced players tell you they're not good, because I'll tell you there are cards in play groups that are very good for different reasons. So don't...
And coming from him, I've played with him so many times where I've pulled out like a $5 jank deck and I've won, and he's like, what the hell did you just do?
I have a $500 ready deck and I just got beat by this like
Lord Trusserhorn
like this 9
deck.
The all-time, like, again, like, this is a quick side story of like Ultimate Jank before we close up is your Trusserhorn deck. He's like, I built this Trusserhorn deck, and I look at it, I'm like, this is terrible. What an awful commander.
Yeah.
And he killed me with Infect on like turn 4 or 5.
It was turn 4, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and then the game went another hour after that, and I was so bad. But like, I was like, after that, I was like, respect. Like, I have like mad respect for Trusserhorn.
I've actually never gone off like that ever since with that deck, the first time I played it, but it's still like, knowing I did that once, like it was so worth it.
I'll remember that forever, yeah. I'll remember forever the time I got killed with Infect with Trusserhorn.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're gonna do like so we're gonna do a new thing, which I guess the whole thing's new, but whatever, we're gonna do a new thing for us. A couple comments people made were that people wanted to know more about us and kind of get to know us a little more as people, not just like, Magic players. So every week now we're going to talk about, I guess it's almost like a complete rip-off of the Command Zone, but we're doing it anyway.
Yeah. Well, they call theirs the end stop, and they like pick things, but other YouTubers have done it, so...
It's not just their idea.
We're giving them credit.
Yeah, because...
You can go first.
But this is our favorite things of the week. This is the thing this week that we're just like really excited about, and like we're excited. So I'm going to talk about the new season of Mystery Science Theater 3000, The Gauntlet.
Okay. Explain.
On Netflix. So yeah, it's a show that came out like 30 years ago. They're actually celebrating their 30th anniversary, and it's just a show where a guy and his 3 robot friends watch bad movies, and they comment over them the whole time. So each episode's like an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes. Like they show the whole movie in its entirety, and they just play like really old bad like the one I'm watching right now is Atlantic Rim, which is Pacific Rim.
Okay.
But it was like done as like a you know, I guess like a response to this movie, but the CG is so abysmal. It is like, it's so bad. Like, it's such a bad movie. And the acting's awful.
You really like things like that, though.
Bad movies?
That other movie you showed me last weekend of, like, making fun of the horror films. Do you remember that? It was like all their friends were accidentally getting killed. But
Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
I was like, what is this awful thing you're watching?
Yeah, I do like weird, like, niche stuff like that. But yeah, if you're a fan of, like, old sci-fi or just, like,
hit 'em up.
Kind of like dumb comedy, like, because the comedy is pretty, like, dumb. Yeah. But it's, Mystery Science Theater 3000, The Gauntlet on Netflix right now. It's awesome. I can't recommend it more.
Okay, so there's been a lot of music that dropped this week.
Yeah.
Like a whole lot.
Yeah.
I know you don't listen to a lot of rap, but there was a lot of rap albums that dropped this week, which
I see them pop up, so I know they exist. But
even like Victor Oladipo, he's an NBA player, dropped a whole album this week out of nowhere.
I've never heard that person in my life.
He plays for the Pacers.
Okay.
But my actual favorite album, I love the 1975, but I'm giving this week's spotlight to Clean Bandit. They dropped a new album this week. It's called What Is Love? And like, I think everyone's heard the song Symphony. I don't know, it's on the radio a lot.
I haven't listened to the radio in like 10 years.
Yeah, well, he would.
I'll have to listen. I'll check it out later. Like,
I don't know, the whole album's like kind of like poppy, dancey, but it's also like, I don't know, it makes me think, which is weird. Because like a lot of dance music, I'm just like, in the disco, you know? But like, this I'm like feeling things. I'm like feeling environments and all that. I don't know, it's really cool. I think people should check it out.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's on Apple Music, What Is Love? There's a lot of people on it. Sean Paul, Demi Lovato.
Man.
Marina and the Diamonds.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's a lot. Like, the whole thing's features, so everyone go check it out.
I ignored everything because the new 1975 album came out.
We're not listening to anything else.
I have, but it's been hard. Like, I'm like, listen to 1975.
It's good. It's just, I didn't want to be that guy who made it my thing this week.
That's fair. We'll give it as an honorable mention,
Yeah.
the new 1975 album, which I can't remember the title of, but it's...
I don't even remember. Sincerity is...
It's something about internet relationships.
Online inquiries.
Inquiries of online relationships.
We're bad, okay?
Yeah, it's good, though. Just listen to it. It's good. Good album.
Alright, well, thanks for watching. Leave us feedback.
Yeah, please. Tell us some of your beginner mistakes. Yeah. We'd like to know.
And next week we're uploading the cards that annoy us the most. So if you guys have any suggestions for that, let us know. Any of your cards you hate the most playing. So yeah.
There's gonna be some angry comments, but
people are gonna get mad.
It's
so
okay.
Get ready. Bye.
Bye.
Right now I'm in a state